those moments when God just gives you a zinger. So Jesus he was raised by Jewish parents. He wasn't. He was nothing. I mean, he was something. Oh, God. I mean, it's amazing. It's like God blows my mind. He blows my mind. It's like, God, there is nobody on this earth. I don't care how great of a rocket scientist they are. I don't care how many letters they have after their name. I don't care how many PhDs they have. There is nobody that can even come close to the magnificence of the Almighty God. I mean, think about it. The world fights with each other about who's the chosen people. And Jesus was raised by Jews. Because again, why did God need chosen people? Because you're in the fallen world. Prior to the fallen world, which is God's kingdom, prior to the fallen world, prior to the original sin, God's kingdom, there was no need for chosen people. None. Zero. But once everybody is in the fallen world, again, I've said it a million times, God has to start from scratch. We got to start from scratch. Everybody's spiritually dead, including the chosen people. So I'm going to take these people and I'm going to start with them. So people, at least at some point through the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years that'll go on, that maybe there'll be some people that get it. And then I'm going to send Jesus and see Jesus. Jesus is going to be raised by Jewish parents, but technically, he had no DNA of anyone. He couldn't because of the inherited nature of sin. See, the Catholic Church played such games with this. Oh, but Mother Mary was his mother. Joseph was his father. Not biological. Mary was a surrogate. She had to be because she was sinful too. I know the Catholic Church spent many ages carrying on. This is how smart they were, okay? But this is how, we're never wrong. We're the vicars of Christ, except you've gotten so much wrong. And to this day, you never want to take accountability for it. And that brings me to the fact of why I'm an equal opportunity offender. Because I am. I've been a lifelong Republican. I just really could never be a Democrat. Their values, there is no value system there. It's just twisted, warped. But the Republicans, they don't want to look at themselves. So if you truly want to win elections, if you truly want to be a party that stands for something, then look at yourself. The Democrats never will, okay? That's the party of just total they're just nuts, okay? They're just nuts. But, see, Jesus wasn't all about this. I'm Jewish, I'm this, I'm black, I'm white, I'm blah, 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 blah. The world, this is how stupid the world is. So when I say I'm an equal opportunity offender, I'm not one of these that goes after the Jews like Tucker and Candace, that whole network. And believe it or not, Charlie Kirk was part of that network. What side of the network was he working for? Well, there were two sides of that network trying to get a hold of him. There was the AIPAC, and I have nothing against AIPAC. It's just you all serve certain goals, none of them being godly ones. Not even the Christians. Nobody wanting to do it God's way. That's why I say I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'll go after the kings and I'll go after the poor. Because God makes me look at myself. He does. Every single day he does. That's what happens. See, it's one thing to just, I'm sorry, God. I'm in your corner now. Okay, God's not in your corner until you surrender to him. If you want God to be in your corner, if you want God to fight for you, if you want God to protect you against every enemy that is in this world against you, then you need to surrender to God. Trust me, no matter how much this world will take from you, God will still keep you laughing. He will. Even when you have nothing, even when your refrigerator's empty, which thanks to my sister it won't be. I mean, if it wasn't for my sister, I would have been dead already. Thank bless my sister. And her husband. But you have a Jewish sect that wants to have control of America. Yeah, it's all of you people with your control issues. Like this is why surrender is necessary. This is why surrender was necessary. The only way you stop with your ridiculous addictions and control issues, whether it's with war or it's a holy war. Look, I'm not against Israel. I'm not. I have no reason to be against them. However, the chosen people, Jesus came as no chosen, yet he wasn't. Yet the path that he walked was as an Israelite. He surrendered to the Father. Just mirror the New Testament. Everything Jesus said to the Exodus. I'm the beginning and I'm the end. I'm the Alpha. I'm the Omega. Exodus, beginning. I mean, Genesis was the beginning of the creation and then, explaining the fall. Exodus this is where we're beginning the redemption process. The beginning. And then Jesus came, so it's the Alpha, the beginning, and the Omega, the end. And Jesus came, and what did he mirror? He mirrored Exodus. You all think because you have more technology and more advancement now that you somehow don't need to be back in Exodus, and you all do. You wouldn't be forming AIPAC. You wouldn't be forming your Christian coalitions. You wouldn't be saying we're more important than these people, because what all that's done, and it's the amazing thing about God, is God knew it would happen, which is why when he sent Jesus, Mary was merely a surrogate. She was a surrogate. Was he raised by a Jewish mother? Yes. Was he raised by a Jewish father? Yes. So you can say that he was raised and he used, because it was about his father's will. Let's get it straight here. It's not about Jewish anything. It is about God's law. End of story. God's law. Let's stop the whole chosen thing. We're way past this maturity-wise. We really should be way past this maturity stuff. But you have the house that gets the crazy people like Candace Owens out of control, because you have this country that says, well, no, if we don't bless Israel, then wait. Come on now. Come on. What was God's kingdom? Stop with the Israel thing. It's nothing against Israel. Just stop for a moment. What was God's kingdom? It was prior to Israel. Can you hear what I'm saying? Can you hear? Yeah, you got the Catholic Church, the first church. That's where the season of the beast began, in my opinion. Well, Jack Hibbs and everybody is on watch for the Antichrist to rise. It's like, you've been living under the Antichrist. Are you out of your minds? That's the best way the Antichrist would deceive everybody, is make you think it's coming. It's coming. It wasn't the money system that was the mark, even though that mark on the money was the face of Caesar. Everybody's taken the mark. Am I saying that means everybody's damned? No, because you're past the millennial kingdom. Do you understand? You're past that mark stuff. You've been living in the time when that already happened. All that already happened. So now you're at the point where everybody's taken the mark, because everybody's been living under the season of the beast, and God has spent the past, 8 years, 10 years, maybe more for some people, waking people up to this fact. And then what everybody wants to do is, the Jewish people are more important. There's nobody more important than God. That's it. There's nobody above God. There's nobody that God says, oh, this group is more important. What he knew would happen was that you would get people like Adolf Hitler that's going to go after the Jews. But they weren't the only ones persecuted, but their group, that was cruelty on a mass scale, okay? There's no denying what happened to those people. And the majority of them being Jews. That said, that's been used by certain sects to make people feel bad. And people should feel bad. It was a horrible thing. What it should have made people realize is, where are we living? Because when I learned about the Holocaust, which was through the Anne Frank movie, don't even get in my comment section and carry on with some bullshit either. I'll just block you. People have gone after that. But I'll never forget. It wasn't even about who Anne Frank was. I mean, it was the movie Anne Frank, but it was about, where am I living? And I was like in 3rd, 4th grade. That's what ran through my mind. Where am I living that people would do this? And then you look around and you see everybody fighting about the Christians, the Jews, blah, 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 and you realize nobody's getting it. Nobody.